Hi there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson. And today we are going to learn about the AsyncListDiffer. So on the previous lecture we learned about the diffutil, and we saw that it was utilizing our algorithm that is really efficient to handle a list of for our recycle view. But today what we will do is we will make use of AsyncListDiffer, and it's a upgraded version for the diffutil, we can say, because the diffutil was doing everything in the main thread. But it was really efficient because it makes use of the algorithm that's really efficient to handle all of the list changes. And the AsyncListDiffer is the upgraded version, and we can say that it does everything in the background thread. So we don't have to worry about if you have a large list and that your main UI will be lagging or may be affected. But with the help of the AsyncListDiffer, we can overcome the lagging of our recycle view adapter. So let's go and implement. I'll just copy this class and paste it over here and call this one as AsyncListDiffer. Just click on OK and let me add it. And I need to remove this constructor parameter because we are not going to take it any constructor parameter. And over here we will create a private val. I'll just call it as a diffutil callback, and this should be equal to object, and we will implement anonymous class over here. I'll call it diffutil dot. We have to make use of the item callback. So item callback takes the as a generic type. So the generic type that we will make use is it's a task list. So if you go over here, we are using a task entity. So this is the one that we have to provide a generic type, and the constructor construct it. And okay, so we need to implement the two-member. I think we have a two-member function, so let us implement that too. And so this is the one that two function that we have to override. So the first is it says our item the same, and if you go over here and check the diffutil class, the R item the same. So over here it's taking the position, and here it's taking the all item, which is of the entity, the object of the entity itself or the content itself. So I'll just say that the old item dot the ID is sorry, I need to return it. I need to return the old item dot ID, which is of unique. We have to check the unique ID over here is equal to new item dot ID. So we just check whether that particular two unique ID are same, our items the same. And over here we will return, since this is just the content, so I can return all item which is equals to new item. So I don't have to check for particular position. So if we go over here, we had position, so we were passing the position. So we had to get the task list because we had the task list over here, and that's why we have to get the particular position to get the content. So to check the content whether the same, so we had to have the position to access the index of that particular list item. But here we don't have all this, so we just can compare this two object over here. Okay, so we have that one, so diffutil callback, and I'll also create the another variable. So let me create the private val, and I'll just call it as diffutil, or I can remove this one and call it AsyncListDiffer, and that is of equal to AsyncListDiffer. You can check away. It comes from error_x.recycleView.wicket. Just implement this one, and it will take a two constructor parameter. You can see first is the adapter itself. So adapter is this. Why it is this? Because we have implemented recycleView.adapter over here. And the second parameter, it takes the config. So the config of this is this one, so diffutil callback. So I'll just implement, paste it over here. So now we have a AsyncListDiffer which is ready to use. And since we have this object, I can return over here. So let us return now the AsyncListDiffer dot the current list. We have a current list dot get this size. I can get the particular size from here, and now I can all of the list is, the current list is stored in this current list object, so we can get that one. Just copy, and instead of this I will pass it the AsyncListDiffer that current list and get the particular position. So that's it over here. And over here I can remove this one, so I don't need this one. And what we will do is we will just implement this particular AsyncListDiffer dot, and I need to submit the list, submit list, and the new list I will submit over here. And that's it. So we don't have to do all of the other stuff, and this class we don't need it, so I can remove now. So this class is not utilized anymore, so I will remove that class. Okay, so we have set up everything, right? And we don't have any error in this particular class. And let me clean up if I have to clean up. Okay, let us clean up everything. So looks good. So what we'll do is we'll go and create the instance of this class in our own fragment. So first of all, what we will do is we will, okay, so this is not used. If it is not used, then we can remove it. Why we want to waste the memory? And then we have adapter, so task adapter. So let me duplicate this private variable, and let me comment out this one because we are not going to use it for now. So I want to implement this AsyncListDiffer adapter. I'll go over here, and over here I'll just import this class first of all, and instead of this I will rename it to different one. So here we will what we will do is we will comment out this one because we are not going to use it. So just comment out. Later if you want to roll back, either you can just come back and check it over here. Depend on you whether you want to keep it or you can remove it. So for this I need to utilize this one, and the task adapter AsyncListDiffer, which is of equals to, I can just copy, and I don't have to pass any constructor parameter over here, just initialize it. Now we have this adapter, and I can pass this adapter over here. That's it. And here in the task adapter, what we have to do is I just have to pass it over here, the task adapter AsyncListDiffer dot set detail, and just set it. That's it, and we don't have to do anything. Just really simple, right? So we don't have to work so hard, and with a very few line of code, everything is done for us in a background thread, and we will have a smooth scrolling, everything. And well, if you have a very large list also, we don't have to worry about it because everything is done in the background thread. So let's run our application, and let us take a look on how it performs. So if you go to the let me open the device first, I think. So let us wait for the activity to pop all of our list. And yeah, now you can see that it's look quite good. So you can see that the list is quite, I think if you have a very less list, I think it should not be any performance gain, or you will not see any performance gain through your app because it's in a microsecond or a millisecond. But if you have a very large list, then you will definitely go and check for, you will definitely notice the performance improvement over here. You can try to create thousands of list item manually, and you can just create one extra file and have a manual create thousands of the item on the particular list and try to implement this one. Then you can obviously see the difference between the AsyncListDiffer and the diffutil and with the notify database change. So all of these works differently, so you can utilize your own ideas and see what is you can measure up the performance over there. So that's all for this lesson, and hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll continue with our lecture. On next lecture we'll be learning about the another diffutil class that we have, which is of the list adapter. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.